Hello, Nene. I was married to my husband for 30 years, and honestly, most of those years were never easy. He was 20 years older than me. I met him while I was in college, and at the time, he looked like the answer to every struggle in my life. He provided financially, bought me things, and made life feel easier. I already had a daughter at 18 after completing grade 12, and he had two sons of his own. Looking back now, I realize I mistook financial stability for love and security. Just interject. The way say women marry who is ready, not who the love. That's really crazy. Anyways, away from that, let's get back into our story. That marriage was filled with pain. There was emotional abuse, mental torture, disrespect, humiliation, and fear. Weekends were for other women while I stayed at home miserable. The way he spoke to me made me feel worthless. Sometimes he would beat me, sometimes he would, hit me and even lock me up and my child outside overnight. Over time, I think I became numb to the suffering and pain. I was scared of him and living felt impossible. I worried about what people would say. That is always it, what people say. I worried about what people would say, how my family would react, and what divorce would mean. We even had another child together, and I kept convincing myself to stay. Before I married him, there was another man in my life, a younger man, only 2 years younger than me, who genuinely loved me. He stood by me even after I became pregnant with my daughter. But back then he didn't seem established, and I was chasing stability instead of love. So I let him go. Then life happened and he disappeared for 25 years. Years later, while trapped in my unhappy marriage, we reconnected. By then, he had built the kind of life I once dreamed of. He was happily married with children, and he had become a successful entrepreneur living abroad. And me, I was still surviving. The only thing I could do was open up to him about my pain. He listened, he comforted me, he supported me emotionally, and even sent me money to help start up a business. I also sent him an old photo we took together in our younger days. Truthfully, I had kept that picture all those years because deep down, a part of me always knew he was my true love. Well, but I choose money over love. The business I opened eventually gave me my independence and helped me stand on my own feet. Sometimes I would still whisper to myself, if only I had known. Then my husband became seriously ill. Despite everything he had done to me, I became his caregiver. The same family members who insulted me, looked down on me, and even defended me, and never defended me, suddenly left all the responsibility to me. I took him to the hospital. I slept on the floor. I took care of him. Even though he had maltreated me and my daughter. And in the end, the sickness took him. Oh, I'm sorry. Every day I still ask myself, why did I stay so long? It wasn't love anymore. It wasn't peace. It wasn't even financial security. Now I am 50, finally learning peace and rediscovering myself. But the emotional scar still remains. I'm not sharing this story for pity. I'm sharing it because I know there's someone out there that's silently suffering, convincing themselves to stay while slowly breaking inside. Please hear me. If you are being abused, if you are constantly unhappy, if your spirit is dying in that marriage, please choose yourself. Do not stay until you no longer recognize yourself, who you are, until you can no longer recognize yourself or who you are. Do not waste your best years suffering in silence. Sometimes the hardest decision to make is also the one that saves your life. Well, guys, what do you think about this story? It's quite heavy. It has a lot of moral lessons. Tell me what you think the moral lesson of this story is. And yes, guys, tell me what your thoughts are about this video. And yeah, guys, see you on our next one.